2 Chronicles Chapter 35. Josiah celebrated a Passover to honor the Lord in Jerusalem. They slaughtered the Passover lambs on the 14th day of the first month. Josiah organized the priests, motivating them in their duties for the service of the house of the Lord. He also spoke to the Levites, who were responsible for instructing all of Israel and were consecrated to the Lord. Josiah directed them to place the Holy Ark in the house built by Solomon, the son of King David of Israel. He emphasized that it should not be a burden on their shoulders, urging them to serve the Lord their God and his people Israel. Josiah instructed the Levites to prepare themselves according to their ancestral houses and divisions, in accordance with the writings of King David of Israel and his son Solomon. They were to stand in the holy place, following the divisions of the families of their fellow Israelites and Levites. The Passover sacrifice was then carried out, and they sanctified themselves, ensuring that their brethren were prepared to follow the word of the Lord as delivered by Moses. Josiah generously provided lambs and young goats from his own flocks for the Passover offerings. These offerings numbered 30,000 lambs and 3,000 bulls, all from the king's resources. The princes of Judah followed suit, willingly giving 2,600 small cattle and 300 oxen for the Passover offerings to the priests. Conaniah, Shemaiah, Nethaneel, Hashabiah, Jeiel, and Jozabad, leaders among the Levites, also contributed 5,000 small cattle and 500 oxen for the Levite Passover offerings. The service was meticulously prepared, and the priests and Levites took their designated positions as per King Josiah's instructions. They carried out the Passover sacrifice, with the priests sprinkling the blood and the Levites skinning the animals. Following this, they removed the burnt offerings to distribute them according to the family divisions of the people, in accordance with what was written in the book of Moses. The same was done with the oxen. The Passover was roasted over the fire as prescribed, while other holy offerings were cooked in pots, cauldrons, and pans, and quickly distributed among all the people. Later, they prepared provisions for themselves and the priests, as the sons of Aaron were occupied with offering burnt offerings and the fat until nightfall. The Levites took care of their own preparations and those of the priests. The singers, descendants of Asaph, took their designated places, following the commandment of King David, Asaph, Heman, and Jeduthun, the king's seer. The porters remained stationed at every gate, not departing from their duties, as the Levites were responsible for their provisions. On that same day, all the necessary arrangements for the service of the Lord were made. They observed the Passover and offered burnt sacrifices on the Lord's altar, in accordance with King Josiah's commandment. The children of Israel present at that time also celebrated the Passover, followed by the 7-day feast of unleavened bread. No Passover in Israel's history had been as grand as the one Josiah celebrated. Neither before nor after did any of the kings of Israel hold such an elaborate Passover, with the active participation of the priests, Levites, all of Judah and Israel in attendance, and the residents of Jerusalem. This exceptional Passover was observed in the 18th year of Josiah's reign. Following these events, when Josiah had fully prepared the temple, Necho, the king of Egypt, marched to Carchemish on the Euphrates River to wage war. He sent messengers to Josiah, saying, "What have I to do with you, king of Judah? I am not coming against you today, but against the house I am at war with. God has commanded me to hurry, refrain from opposing God, who is with me, lest he destroy you." Despite these warnings, Josiah refused to turn away. He disguised himself and went into battle against Necho, not heeding the words of Necho, which were spoken on behalf of God. This confrontation took place in the valley of Megiddo, where King Josiah was struck by archers. Realizing his severe wounds, he instructed his servants, "Take me away, for I am badly wounded." They transferred him from his chariot to another he had, and brought him to Jerusalem, where he died and was laid to rest in one of the sepulchres of his forefathers. The people of Judah and Jerusalem mourned deeply for Josiah. The prophet Jeremiah also offered his lament for Josiah, and his memory lived on through songs and laments composed by both male and female singers. These songs became a lasting tradition in Israel, recorded in the Lamentations. The remaining acts of Josiah, including his righteousness and deeds, are detailed in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah, from his earliest to his latest accomplishments.